Let's see the requirement in detail. Here is a folder called Sales Info Workbooks. Once I get inside of this folder, these are the workbooks which I have now. There are 9 workbooks which I need to consolidate. If I open that workbook called Aishwarya Sales Info, like you see here already I opened, this is what the data which I have, like city, date, product name, sales rep name and net sales. The number of records are 1102. And let me close this Aishwarya workbook. And there is another workbook called like Rachna Sales, where all the headers are same, the format is the same, that number of records are 900. All this data needs to be consolidated into this book one. In general, if you are not aware about the coding that VBA macros, you need to do it one by one, that copy paste, open the workbook, copy it and paste it here. Again, close that workbook and open the another workbook, append below to it and so on. So this manual work every day we need to work, which we get rid of, which we want to automate now. And we are not aware about the VBA macros, let's assume. So in such case, that Power Query is going to help you. In book one, this is the place where we need to consolidate. Go to data ribbon. In the data ribbon, there is something called get and transform data. You can get a data from the website, you can get a data from the text files, from sheet, and also you can get a data from the folder. This time we have the data from the folder. In that folder, like we can get a data from this file, and you can see that from folder. Once you click on that from folder, what is the folder path? It will ask you, give that folder path here. This is my folder path. I just selected that folder and just click open. Once you click open, it will shows you, hey, in this path, these are the files which are available now. Don't click on combine or don't click on the load, click on the transform data, so that it will open the Power Query editor new window. This new window is a part of your Excel workbook itself. What are the steps you do? Everything will be recorded in the applied steps, so that anytime refresh, it will taken care all that steps. So see this, it is not consolidated all that 9 workbooks related data. It is just showing that files related, like names. These are the file names, that workbook names, the extension of it, date access, date modified, the properties of that files it is giving. But actual data will be sitting in the contained column in the binary format. We should be able to pull the data from binary to Excel data one. So for that reason, what I do is I'll select these 2 columns. This name is nothing but workbook name, right? I can rename it. I can call it as a workbook name, and this is a contain. These 2 columns only are required. I don't need other columns. I can simply right click and remove other columns, so that all other columns got removed. As we rename the columns and remove the other columns, that's what the steps it is showing here. So anything you do it in the Power Query, it will be taken as a steps. So first we got the data, the source, and we rename the columns, and after that remove the other columns. Apart from these 2 columns, we select these 2 columns we selected and remove other columns. So apart from the selected columns, it will remove all other columns. That's what it is done. Now using some formula, we should pull the data from this binary file. So what we need to do, go to add column and add a custom column. Once you add a custom column, it is going to add a new column. The new column name by default is giving as a custom. If you want to change the name, yes, you can change it, but let it be like this. Equal to, I am writing a Power Query formula called excel.workbook, which can pull the data from the Excel, that binary format. So here excel.workbook, it is asking workbook as a binary, that all the binary data is sitting in the contained column. That contained column and workbook name, it is showing these 2. So we need to give the contained, just double click on it so that it will come here. This workbook as binary 1, taken that parameter, that contain, comma. The second parameter is use headers. Do you want to use the headers or not? Yes, we do have the headers for each of that workbooks. So we'll give that true. Bracket close. And this is the formula we are using, excel.workbook. E should be uppercase and W also should be uppercase, remaining all lowercase. Make sure that you write correct way, because Power Query is a case sensitive. No syntax errors found, and just simply click OK. So it is added a new column. It is showing as a table, but this is not the actually pulling the data. A few more steps are we are behind. So once we do that simple steps, so that we'll be able to consolidate all the data. Simply you click on this expand button, so that it is going to expand into 5 columns. Use original column name as a prefix, unselect this. Otherwise what it will do is it is going to expand this 5 columns with the custom dot name, custom dot data, custom dot item, and so on. Every time that custom will be prefix. That prefix I don't want, unselected. Click OK. So it is expanded into 5 columns. So once it is expanded, now like here it is showing this is a item column, data column, kind, and so on. Actual data will be sitting in the data. You see here, once I click on table, just beside with this plain place, you'll be able to see that all the Aishwarya related information. If I go to this, another sheet related, and so on. So these are the tables where we have all the data. So just we need to expand this, so that will get expanded and give all the data, consolidate all these tables. So before I do this, let me take only required columns. This workbook name I required, and if any case if you need the sheet name also, that sheet names are these. All the sheet names are in general sheet 1, but only the first 2 workbooks related sheet names are Aishwarya sales data and sales data sheet something. So if you need the sheet name also, what you do is you take this sheet name also by holding the control key, this workbook name, this item name, and also this data column you select, and right click, remove all other columns. It is removed. Now like here workbook names, that extension is having .xlsx, .xlsx, and so on. If you want to remove this .xlsx, simply right click, replace values, .xlsx, replace with nothing. Click OK, it is replaced. And here this data, all the tables here, just click expand button, and it is going to expand city, date, product name, sales rep, net sales, all the 5 columns. It is going to expand this data column. Use original name column as a prefix, unselected. Click OK. You will be able to see all the data here. Workbook name, sheet name. Instead of item, we can rename it as a sheet name. So like this, we consolidated all the workbooks. If you go here and see this workbook names, it is showing only Aishwarya sales info. However, it is already having other data also. If you want to see that other workbook names, click on the load more. You'll be able to see that all the remaining 8 or 9 workbooks names. So click OK. So the data is ready. Only few small changes I'll do. The data type changes. Here that workbook name ABC is showing nothing but text data. Well and good. The sheet name ABC123 showing, it is not understood whether it is a text or number. You go here and change it to text, and city name also text. Whereas date field, it is we make it as a date field. Select the date, not date and time. So product name text. This sales rep name also text. Multiple also at a time you can do. Net sales, these are the number related field. Either you make it whole number or decimal number. If you think that sometimes it will be having the decimals also, good to have the decimal number. So all the data is ready. Now what you need to do, go to home ribbon and click on this close and load. But if you click on the drop down, there is option called close and load and close and load to. If I click on this close and load to, it will shows you that option like, hey, I'm going to import this data as a table, existing worksheet or new worksheet. It is asking that option. It is giving this option like already it is a brand new workbook, book 1, and there is only sheet 1. There is no data here. I want to import here itself, so you can select existing worksheet. If you say new worksheet, it will insert the new sheet, but I don't need it. I select this existing worksheet. So it is going to import data as a table in the existing worksheet. You also explore about this. What about like if I click on this pivot table report, pivot chat, or only connections? These things we'll talk later. So as of now, I want to import as a table, and in the existing worksheet, not in the A6, I'll select this A1 cell so that it is going to import in the sheet 1 A1 onwards. Click OK. That is going to import that query data. You see this? All the data is loaded. Check out the last sales rep name is a 7 sales info, like 13,677 records we have. But however, what if I have the new records, the new file is added in that folder. So in this folder, right now there are 9 files, 9 items, you see. What if I added a new folder? Just check out this Rajesh sales info. I'll just move it to this folder. Now we have the 10, correct? 10. So if I go here, it is still showing the 13,677 only. It is not increased. It is not showing the sales rep of the Rajesh. But however, once I right click and click on the refresh, you can do it here. Otherwise, you can click on the refresh here as well. Anything is fine. Click on the refresh. Once I click on refresh, here you see this Rajesh data also. Now the number of records are 14,417. So this is how that consolidation is done. Whether it is a 10 files or 100 workbooks, it will be consolidated. Just that format should be the same. If the format is not the same, still we can do it. So that we will take in some other session. So that's it for today. We hope you like this tip. We would like to hear your comments. Write it in the comment section what you felt about this video, and like and share with your friends if you like this video.